Please welcome our keynote speaker, Ryan Bomberger.
I love the work of pregnancy centers. My wife and I, it's at the heart of what we do. In fact, I will just say that we met at a pregnancy center planning meeting. There was a benefit concert that we were holding, and I will never forget when I first met my wife. Any of you had that love at first sight moment? And if you didn't, well, I'm not asking anybody to raise their hand, because if you didn't, that would be really awkward. But it was a love at first sight sort of moment, and it was for the CPC of Tidewater in the Hampton Roads area, and I will never forget that. And PRCs have been at the heart of what we do. Christian, thank you for the opportunity to be able to share my perspective and what we do, your story. Okay, first of all, has anyone in here ever cried inside of Wegmans? I mean, maybe it's because you can't find what you need, but other than that, I will never, we met, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We had talked on the phone, obviously, long before that, but met in person 2 weeks ago, and here are two grown men sitting upstairs at Wegmans crying. I was a little self-conscious. It was a little awkward, but it's amazing how God orchestrates stories. It's amazing how God enables triumph to rise from tragedy all the time. So I was proud to cry with you, Christian. That was a lot of fun. My wife and I started this organization because we wanted to talk about the tough issues. We wanted to equip Christians to not be fearful in engaging in these vital conversations. And so we started the Radiance Foundation to illuminate, educate, and motivate. To illuminate the simple truth that every human life has irreplaceable worth and value. Try to educate people about a myriad of social issues, all in the context of God-given purpose. And then also, the easy part, motivate. How many of you are good at self-motivation, just by a show of hands? Wow, 3 of you. That's really depressing. Hopefully you're better at motivating other people. Our thing is, especially as an educational kind of organization, what good is information, what good is knowledge if you don't put it into practice, if you don't put it into motion? I love Christian's heart for Choices Women's Center, and for the theme tonight, I'm a little partial to this theme, the beauty of possibility. See, so many times we see what's right in front of us. We don't see tomorrow. We don't see the next week. We don't see the next year. We see the fear and the confusion and the chaos. And God's like, I got this. This moment was able to happen because of a series of things that started with my first hero, my birth mom. In fact, Christian, when you introduced your birth mom, I've never met my birth mom. I've never met her. I wish I could thank her. I think one day maybe she will show up at one of my events and she will say, by the way, I'm your birth mom. And it will be a Wegmans kind of crying right there in front of her, and it'll be okay. But I want to introduce you to my extended family, the family I grew up in, so you can understand why I am so passionate about this issue, why I'm so passionate about celebrating heroes, about facing the impossible all the time.
Life is never picture perfect. Human beings come in all different shapes, sizes, colors, and abilities. No matter how much we plan, no matter how much we think we're prepared, the unplanned happens all the time. It's how we respond to the unexpected that shows our true humanity. But many do not see the value of every human life. Too many are willing to discard those who don't fit the picture of perfection. Abortion destroys the chance to love and to be loved. We never know what will fill the frames of our lives, or how empty those frames can be when we allow exceptions.
Every life is a gift.
So my family is full of exceptions. In fact, it started off this way, though. People probably would have said, hey, this is picture perfect. Yeah, 3 kids. These are actually my 3 homemade siblings. The first ones, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out a label that will work a little better. But my mom and my dad, 2 amazing people who didn't set out on some sort of crusade. They simply just wanted to love those that the world said would be unwanted. So they had 3 biological children first, and then came along, some would say trouble, some would say a blessing. We were all a trouble and a blessing at different times, I guess. But this is the first moment my mom was able to hold me. I love my mom because she showed us that you never give up. Even when you think something's impossible, you just never give up. And when you're a parent of 13 kids, you cannot give up. My parents, yes, they had, as I mentioned, 3 biological, and then they adopted 10. Then people will say, are they still alive? Because I understand that, because how many people have raised 13 teenagers in here? Because you know that one teenager can kill you, right? And if you're that teenager in here, change your ways. I'm just saying, make it easier. Because I was that one. I was that one that would drive my parents right. I knew how to drive them right to the very edge. They would teeter. I actually thought my original purpose in life was to make my parents better parents. So these are the pro-lifers, by the way, who don't care about children after they're born. I love that mantra. It's a great bumper sticker, but it means nothing. They loved us, they adopted us, they nurtured us, they educated us. They filled us with the love of Christ, which is the most important. They sacrificed all the time. Actually, these are all my siblings right here. Obviously, a lot of Afro action going on. Obviously, we know a little bit about diversity. We don't exactly look alike here. Some of us were adopted as newborns, some as teens out of foster care. Most of us were domestic adoptions. My one sister is from Vietnam. I love growing up in the family that I grew up in. You see those colors, you see those differences, and you love people because we're created by God, period. Made from one blood. I want to show you a picture of my whole family. Now, it's just my parents, my siblings, their spouses, their children. There are no aunts and uncles, none of my aunts and uncles. My one little grandma was in the middle of this picture. But all the rest is just the Bomberger family that I grew up in and all the extensions. And this is what unwanted looks like. I have to put that in quotes. This is a picture of what unwanted looks like. This is all of us. This is what happens. I know some people are like, because I don't like the Duggars. No, we're the Bombergers. The Bombergers. Only God can orchestrate things like this. 2 parents who had no idea what they were getting into. By the way, you do not have to have 13 children to not know what you're getting into. Just one child. And that child can be biologically related, and you still wonder whose child that is. But anyway, this is what happens when I hear you, world, I hear what you're saying, but I reject your low expectations. And my parents loved the mess out of all of us. This picture is also possible because of 10 courageous women, 10 courageous birth moms who chose to be stronger than their circumstances. This picture wouldn't even be possible. And as I mentioned, I've never met my birth mom. I did search for her years ago, but the search came up empty or with no response. But I'm telling you, just to meet so many birth moms across the country, to be able to see Christian's mom moments ago, man, there are a lot of women who are birth mom strong. It is not easy to make the choice of adoption. And we should be a society that works toward a win-win-win situation when it comes to adoption. It's a win for the birth mom. We can't forget them. It should be a win for the adoptee and a win for the adoptive family. I love adoption, and I hope that one day I actually do get to meet my birth mom. I will probably be speechless. I think I'm better perhaps creating things to express my gratitude. Over the years, I've created different things as a tribute to my birth mom. I was trying to think several years ago, how do I encapsulate all the things that I've been able to become in my life by the grace of God? All because of her singular decision. And so I created this tribute to my birth mom, hoping one day maybe she'll actually be able to see this. All because of her singular decision, the beautiful reverberations that have been caused, that have emanated from that decision. And so this is what I came up with.
You couldn't see what I would be. It wasn't part of your plan. Stronger than your circumstance, you gave my life a chance. Touching the future before it began. You're the reason I am here. I know deep down in my soul, my life has purpose. I know deep down in my soul, my life has purpose.
Every human life has purpose.